Hello there, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm using this Kona charm pack. I've got a great two-cut plan that you can turn into some interesting designs, and you can make this project as big as you want to by using more than one charm pack, or if you've got a layer cake, you could cut it into fours. You can even make this plan from yardage by cutting your own squares. This plan does require a little thinking about tone and value, which is light, medium, medium dark, which stack to put my fabric in. I divided it into two parts, and then I sorted my fabrics, matching up a light and a dark. Once I had my sort done and I had them all stacked up into pairs, I started stacking up 4 at a time. And then once I have the 4 stacked up, I am going to make 2 simple cuts. I really do want to get these fabrics lined up together as closely as possible. Once I have them lined up, I'm going to make 2 cuts. The first cut, I am starting on my left, and I'm going over about 3 inches on the top and about 1 inch on the bottom, and just making an angled cut. And again, I'm using my cutting mat to line up my ruler. Now I'm doing the opposite cut. I'm going over 3 inches from the right hand side on the top and 1 inch on the bottom. And now I'm taking the first triangle and putting it in place of the second triangle. And then I'm taking the third triangle and putting it in the place of the fourth triangle. Let's go through that cutting one more time at this slower speed. Again, I'm stacking my 2 pairs because I feel comfortable cutting through 4 layers of fabric. Using my cutting mat, I'm counting over 3 inches on the top side and 1 inch on the bottom side, and just making that diagonal cut. Keeping the fabric lined up on my cutting mat. Again, I'm going from the right hand side this time, counting over 3 inches on the top and 1 inch on the bottom, and making a diagonal cut. Again, I'm swapping triangle 1 and 2, and then separately I'm swapping triangle 3 and 4. Then I put it back together and add it to my stack. I'm going to definitely leave some details in the description for you. That'll include the size of the project I ended up with 1 charm pack, and how many charm packs it would take to make various potential sizes of a quilt or some other project. I also really want to make this in a 2-color way. 1 color light, 1 color dark, just 2 colors, and I'll show you why towards the end of this video. Well, now it's time to chain piece, my favorite thing. Main thing to remember is the first piece you cut is the piece you sew on last. So we're going to start with the second cut, the smaller right hand side, and I've just flipped these upside down to sew them together because it's easier for me to see the triangle on top because it's smaller. But again, this is the right hand side of my little block, and I'm going to show you that here. That's upside down. When the block is right side up, that triangle base will be at the bottom of the block. Once we have the 2 smaller pieces stitched together, I'm going to now stitch on the first cut I made, the left-hand side of the block. For the quick demonstration here with this first block, I did not iron, I just finger pressed. And here's our little 2-cut block that we've made. It's just a little triangle in a contrasting color. And after measuring, it looks like I'll be trimming these blocks. If I want them square, I'll be trimming them to 4 inches by 4 inches. And for this project, I do want them to be square. Let's go ahead and make another one at this slow speed. Now this Kona charm pack that I'm using, there is no right or wrong side because they're solids. But it's easy to keep everything straight because that triangle is not equilateral. The two sides, the right and the left side of the triangle, are long, and the bottom line on the triangle is shorter than the sides. So it's easy to figure out which way your triangle will be aligned. Right here you can see there is a little bit of bulk involved with this second seam. Once I stitch that second seam, I'm going to go ahead and trim away that bulk. I went ahead and got my ruler out again and just double checked that this was going to be 4 inches. It's looking good, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself set up for chain piecing seam 1. I paused in my chain piecing long enough to grab my wool pressing mat and my iron and get it heating up and ready to go. I'm going to go through this entire stack before I add the second seam and press. I decided to just press towards the triangle. That seemed the easiest to me. After ironing each piece, I flipped it upside down right next to me. That way these pieces are going to be in the right order to add that other piece. Working with these bright colors is certainly fun. I love just seeing them unfold before my eyes. Now it's time to add that other piece. And again, I've got this block flipped upside down. And I quickly realized with that bulk there, I was going to have a hard time using my 1/4 inch seam with the guide. So I did swap my presser foot out for just the regular presser foot that would go right over the top of that bulk. Once I finished the chain, I separated it. I trimmed away all that excess bulk, and then I pressed my seams nice and flat. I trimmed all my squares to 4 inches square. I probably could have made them rectangles, maybe 4 by 4.5. But I decided I wanted the square because I had an idea of how I was going to lay this out, and it would only work with a square. After I had all the squares trimmed, I did pull out the scraps that I could use, and stay tuned for the next video where I use those for a bonus project. My original idea for this layout was to have these triangles go around in a circle and chase each other. That didn't really look good with the bright colorway, at least not in my opinion. So I played with this idea of having the triangles back up to each other. I kind of liked it. I looked again at the original thought I had. I looked again at maybe the large sides of the triangles meeting. I wanted to go through my two ideas in black and white. I think that makes it easier to see why the chasing triangles doesn't really work, because some of my darks are blended with mediums, some of my lights are blended with mediums. They just all kind of blend together with so many different colors. But I definitely want to make it this way again, but with a black and white or maybe a beige and blue, just a 2 colorway. When I join the blocks so that the bottoms of the triangles are meeting each other, you get a totally different look, and it looks more cohesive, more thought out. I decided on a 4 block by 10 block layout, which will use up 40 of my 42 charm packs, but the 2 extra blocks, like I said, stay tuned for the next video in which I used up the leftovers from this little project. I laid all my blocks 5 deep into somewhat of an 8 patch, and I am going to go through and chain piece this 2 at a time and keep on going. It was pretty easy once I broke that first chain to put everything back right where I got it, because the stacks were only 5 high. Then I went through and stitched a pair to another pair, and that made my 4 across. And I only have 10 rows because this is one charm pack. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 rows together. I'm going to nest those seams as I go along. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I like to use clips or pins, especially where blocks come together, to keep everything in place until I get it to the sewing machine. This project is so small, I didn't feel like I needed to do that, but you are certainly welcome to use clips or pins if you are more comfortable. And if you're going to use multiple charm packs to make a larger project, full size or higher, definitely recommend using the clips and pins. After I had my 5 8 patches all done, I did a little checking to make sure that there weren't too many fabrics of the same shade right next to each other. Then I simply joined these 5 pieces together into one unit. Well, let's skip ahead to that last seam that joins all 40 of these little triangle blocks together. I am pressing this project with the right side up. I'm just trying to get the seams as flat as possible. While I'm pressing this, I want to give a quick shout out thank you to my channel members. Here's a look at that finished project of mine. I am going to be turning this into a table runner, and hopefully I'll have it completely finished for the next video where I use up the leftovers and the scraps from this project for a little bonus. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.